Hello everybody, welcome to GhostPie Productions. This is Pie here speaking. We're going to be sitting in the retro region today with Painkiller, the Black Edition. I finally got that right. I've done that so many times trying to get that right. That's so sad. Okay, well for those of you who don't know, Painkiller is an old school FPS. It's not actually old, not really at least, but it does have the unique that it kind of harkens back to the days of Wolfenstein and Doom and health pickups, really fast characters, no reloading. I mean, you'll see what I mean when we get into the game, but it's definitely, if you're looking for an old school FPS, this is actually kind of a pretty good place to go. I've had a lot of fun with this one, so we just get right into it. I'm going to go to the options screen first to look at it. You do have controls. They are rebindable, as much as everyone loves that. This is awesome. Oh, and thank God. I mean, come on. Weapons. Set to the primary keys. Thank you. Games, get this right. As you can see, there are a lot of weapon slots. This is old school. This is a lot of good stuff. You can set your keys to, like, basically it's a hotkey, because there is multiplayer for this game. I haven't gotten a chance to play with it much because no one is online. Older game. You can go to the HUD. You can change your HUD size. You can get the opacity, your type of crosshair. As you can see, there's some fun looking crosshairs out there. I leave it at the generic, regular. Can control sound, not a whole lot to say there. For video, there's really not to say on the video, but it's pretty simple. I mean, this game's not exactly crazy difficult to run. It's pretty simple. I mean, you'll see what I mean, but graphically, I wouldn't say this is the best thing since Halo or Crisis. There's not much to say about it. Let's get right on into the game. Okay, we're going to start out with Painkiller. You'll start a new game. All levels will be locked again. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes, of course. There are 4 modes. Now, this game has a really cool way is that your ending depends on your difficulty level. If my memory serves me correct, in Daydream, you only see like half of the game. And it's not until you go to Nightmare mode that you can actually see the full game. And in Trauma, if I'm right, you don't actually even see the whole game because the ending differs depending on which difficulty you play, which is a really neat thing and adds to replayability for those of you who are willing to slog through the game again, which really isn't that hard, seeing as it's pretty brainless. You'll see what I mean. Going to Insomnia, I don't feel like getting my ass kicked again. Going through the cutscenes, I do not want to show cutscenes just because I don't want to spoil anything, even if this game is incredibly story-light and the story in this game is basically an excuse plot. It is there for you to want to blow stuff up, shoot stuff, and kill stuff. So, I'm not even going to lie that there's a really advanced plot behind all of this. There are black tarot cards, which I will explain after beating the first level, but we're going to get right on into the first level. Okay, you will notice there's a really weird frame drop during loading screens. I don't know why. Every other time, it's usually running 100 to 200 frames per second, but the instant I try to get into a loading screen, frame rate drops like a rock. Now, as you can see, I only have one weapon at the moment. You do have to find your weapons. This does have this... All weapons do have a very cool alternate fire, which I'm quite thankful for. Oh, see, this is a shotgun. I mean, look at this. I know you can't see it very well. It's probably dark. Let's see, that's a shotgun. I only have 10 shots though. But as you can see, I mean, there's more than one weapon. You can change them with the scroll wheel on the mouse, which is always useful. You can use this to just chew up enemies. I mean, this is old school. Now, you're not seeing many enemies right now because there's just nothing out there. Now, this one's got the cool thing is when I aim it at where I shot the beam, oh god, this is so hard to play while talking. When you aim it with the beam, you can actually cut enemies as they walk over the thing. I need to stop talking. Okay. Now, when I kill enemies, you'll notice they drop these little green orbs. Now, the green orbs have this unique mechanic to them in that they give you 1 point of health, which really isn't the important part. The important part... Oh, God. Wow, glitched. The important part is that after accumulating... Oh, God, I have no ammo. Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. After accumulating enough of these little green orbs, you go into some demonic mode. Don't ask me to explain what it actually is, because I do not actually know. Somebody out there who is a bigger Painkiller fan can probably explain it better than I can. But during this demon mode, not only are you invulnerable, but you also have the ability to left-click on any target and it just dies. So, it's basically a superpowered evil side. TV tropes. But, oh, there's ammo. Man, I'm a dumbass. But it definitely has it. It's also very simple. It is very arena-based. For those who don't understand what I mean, you're just going to go from arena to arena to do stuff. There is money pickups. Now, money pickups are important to level because, as you can see, At any time, I can click the tab button, which gives me gameplay time, difficulty, monsters killed, 16 out of 150, souls collected, 13 out of 150. It means I missed 3 souls. Gold, armors, holy items, all that good stuff. Now there's a card unlocking status. Finish the level. Very rarely, if ever, never, will they be that easy other than the first level to get the first cards. I'll explain more about those cards when I get to them. As you can see, I did get a health increase, and a health rejuvenation, basically, along with that was being a checkpoint. I was talking about something, and I'm pretty sure someone in the videos will be like, dude, you were talking about something. I don't know what you're talking about now. But the demon mode, superpower evil side, makes you tougher. You kind of want to save it for a moment that you might need it, but it's not really necessary. I wouldn't say worry about it a whole lot. Yet again, on higher difficulties, it probably matters. Oh yeah, and here's something really cool. If I can do it right. Oh man. Okay, there's this really cool is that there is gore and dismemberment in this game, and it's actually really good. If you can pull it off better than I can, somebody probably can. I know there's a trick to it. I did it one time where I figured out there's like a distance to it. I shoot him like that, and you see how he just comes apart. There's blood everywhere and all that good stuff. So, for those of you thinking, this is old school. You're shooting enemies. You can move really fast. For those of you who know what strafe jumping is, there is strafe jumping in the game. So, you can go a lot faster. This is back in the day that you can probably hear me clicking on the keyboard when I do that, though. So you can go a lot faster. It's really hard to do that while speaking, though. I have to be terribly honest. I just realized that I've played this game several times and just realized that's up there. I bet that's a holy item. Now, as you can see, oh, I'm an idiot. Don't do that, Thompson. Now, here's a really cool thing you can do is that you can come through here, and as you can see, I'm able to get items, and all I'm doing is chewing this stuff up, and there's gold. Now, getting gold is interesting because you need gold to activate your tarot cards. Yet again, we'll explain more later. But it's just useful because you're like, oh, well, what does that do? Oh, I knocked that over. How do I get up there? I don't even know how I get up there. But I need to figure out how to get up there. It's also used because I know there's one level in particular. I cannot remember exactly which level. I'll probably end up checking it out later for you guys. But it's required by getting all the gold in the level. So, it's very important to try. It's very collector happy. This is definitely a collector happy game. There's armor. Gives me full armor. For those of you who are like armor, like old school Doom armor, classic. Like, come on, guys. Classic. Okay, there's a holy item up there, I bet, and I just don't know how to get to it. As much as I'd like to, I'm not going to waste your guys' time as I sit here and try to figure out how to do that. But as you can see, this is very, there's lots of enemies. Shoot them, blow them up. Very old school in that aspect. This is also very, this is a reactionary kind of game. If you don't have really good reaction timing, you're probably not going to have a good day. Because, that's what this type of game is. This isn't the technical, skilled FPS. This is, can you shoot straight, and can you just keep blowing up the enemies? I don't know what this is. I think there's something there. Oh, gold. Huh, well, I'll be. There is little stuff like this. This game actually does have secrets in it. Real secrets, not ooh, I can click, oh, hey, R button lets you do that. Interesting. Real secrets, you actually have to go looking for them. If I remember right, there's not really any in the first level because it's the first level. I don't know what you're expecting. Also, thankfully for dummies like me, there is an arrow on the top to tell me where to go. For stuff like that, where there's one enemy left, it will tell you exactly where that one enemy is by pointing the arrow at them on the screen. So it's pretty simple. I don't know where that guy came from. I don't know what the heck was up with that one. There's just one dude just came out from nowhere. He's like, I'm gonna come kill you. But now the enemy count on the screen can get pretty crazy. Obviously this is not a graphically intensive game. For anyone who's looking at it, they're like, yeah, you could run this on a potato. But the number of enemies on screen can get pretty crazy. There will be moments where you'll be sitting here staring at 40 or 50 enemies on screen. Now, if you're not running a very good computer, you could see some noticeable slowdown during that. So do keep that in mind. If your computer has issues rendering a large number of critters, be careful because you might have some serious slowdown go on when you're dealing with this. So that's one of those things to kind of keep in mind. You will have a lot of moments like this where you'll just go around a corner and boom, there's enemies chasing in you and you're trapped in the area. You're hopefully not a dumbass and you can aim correctly, unlike me. It is kind of cool, though, that there is a physics engine, so I mean, you can punt bad guys pretty far. I mean, you saw me, like, I walked up, shot that dude, and he just flew. So, I mean, there's neat little things like that, in that this game sort of attempts to take itself seriously, but at the same point, this game kind of understands that it's just not going to be able to take itself seriously. So, in some aspects, it gets really goofy. Now, that can be kind of a problem, in that there'll be moments where the game's trying to be spooky, and you're just giggling, because, like, something funny happened, or the enemy's, like, blown across the room for no apparent reason. So that kind of works against its strengths. If you're expecting it to always take itself seriously, it's not going to. There are just moments where it's just goofy, which part of me thinks maybe they could have gone for a different route on that. But, I mean, looking at this game, it is very fun, and the storyline isn't exactly the main point of the game. It's rather obvious that the developers did not intend for the storyline to be the main focus of the game, which isn't bad. I mean, this is old school, like, you are playing this to shoot stuff. I'm not gonna lie and say that this is a grand plot. I'm not. Now, there is a great variety of weapon type. Sadly, I'm not gonna really be able to show you since I'm only playing the first level. But there is... There's so many weapons. I'm trying to remember them all, and I'm sorry. I can't off the top of my head remember them. I should have looked them up before doing this. But just know there is a good variety of weapon type as you play the game. I know there's a rail gun. I mean, not a rail gun. It fires what appear to be large rails. It's like I think a needle gun on steroids, firing bars at the opponent. That's the sniper rifle equivalent in this game. There is... Oh, God. There is the titular Painkiller, which is basically a buzzsaw gun. It fires big saws at the enemy. It's called the Painkiller appropriately. It steals health. Pretty cool, actually, when you get a chance to use it. So just know this is like old school RPG. Great deal of, I mean, oh God, I said old school RPG, didn't I? Oh God, that's horrible. Old school FPS, and there's a great deal of weapon variety. So you're not gonna be bored with the weapon types. There's ammo pickups, there's health pickups. It's very old school, like what you expect from Doom, good stuff like that. I would never worry about ammo. To date, I've yet to have had problems with ammo. I have played the whole game. The bosses are amazingly epic. I mean, the first boss you're going to see here isn't the coolest of the bosses. I do have to admit, the only thing that makes me sad is it's not the last boss that's awesome so much as it is the, like, first boss that's awesome. Like, the first boss is this massive behemoth walking through a graveyard that you kind of have to, like, move in between his legs and shoot him and avoid him. Like, it's a very epic fight, and the problem is it sets you thinking, oh, all the bosses are going to be this awesome. And honestly, they're not. The vast majority of bosses in this game just do not hold the weight of that first boss and just kind of the coolness of that first boss. So, I mean, that's kind of a negative of the game, I have to admit. In that it starts really strong and seems really powerful, but it can kind of start to detract as the game goes on. It just doesn't carry that weight through the rest of the game. It's a very odd game to me in that it seems to straddle that line between too easy and too difficult. In the sense that there are certain levels that are just crazy easy, and then there are other levels which are just crazy hard. It really doesn't seem to walk that boundary between the two very well, because you can either play, there's demon mode coming. I was hoping to show you guys demon mode. Here's demon mode, and you can see I'm just blowing things apart. This is demon mode. It's basically an I win button. It is limited, so I mean it's not going to be active all the time. And anyone who's actually watching saw the number of souls. I wasn't paying attention, I have to be terribly honest. As you can see, enemies are blown apart. But I mean, you can see I go back to regular form. You go back to life, and you're just, okay, woohoo. So it is very, like, in that instant, it's very super mode. Now, also, do not worry, there is a good variety of enemy types. You will be seeing a great deal of Night Boy here, but there is a good variety of enemy type as you go through the different types of levels, because not every level looks like this. Level design is actually very impressive, because all you're seeing is you go through one level, and then the next level is a whole different design. One of the later levels is a monastery, for example, and has monks. They look like monks. They're demon monks, I'm assuming, and you get to blow them up. But that's just kind of what I'm talking about. Is this is kind of that old day, hey, we've got like 9 different ideas for levels, let's just use them all. It definitely has that feel to it, and it's really good. I do appreciate going through that, going to each level and each level feeling unique. But it's also one of those things there, the coherency of the storyline I wouldn't say is exactly there. So if that's what you're expecting, I wouldn't. It's just not going to happen. And now we're going to go face off against a mini-boss. Now this is a mini-boss. Of the things you fight in this game, this is comparatively small. You're seeing this thing right in front of me? It is comparatively small. It's really not that big. Now, as I was saying about secondary fires, I love alternative fires. Alternate fires are awesome. The shotgun's alternate fire freezes enemies. Now, you did just see AI on AI hate. See? Alternate shotgun fire freezes enemies. If an AI enemy hits another AI enemy, they die. Like good old unfriendly fire between the enemies. I love that. For those of you who don't know what unfriendly fire is, it's just freaking awesome. It's really important too. Learning how to let the enemy hit each other is a really important part of the game. Especially at the higher levels of difficulty, in which you kind of have to, because you're really not doing that much damage. You're trying to like just survive, so you're not really too worried about it. But as you can see, I mean, I've been firing this whole time. I'm at 100% ammo. So take that for what you will when it comes to I wouldn't worry about ammunition, which is it's a good thing. Oh wow, I blew him apart by shooting him in the balls. I've never had that happen actually. That's funny. But you guys kind of got a chance to see that. You can destroy stuff, get gold. Told you about that, but just kind of let you see it. Oh wow, the crows died. Huh, I don't know why. But yeah, as I said, remember, that boss you just saw, that was a small mini-boss. That was very small for some of the stuff you're going to be taking on. Obviously, you can backtrack somewhat in the levels, because you see now, once you beat a boss of the level, you can backtrack. You see how I can go all the way right back to the beginning. That's a unique feature of this game, in that the secrets of the levels, sometimes you're going to have to backtrack after beating the boss, because the area in which you need to access to get whatever it is needed to get the whatever the level oh wow, man, he goes swinging. Okay, to get the unlockable, you might not necessarily be able to do it before the boss. You have to go back later and say kill an enemy that was hidden somewhere, open up a door, something like, here we go, perfect example. This right here, I don't know what this is, to be honest with you. I'm gonna attack it and see what happens. No, that's never the right answer, I know, but I'm just going to do it anyway. But as you can see, this opened up after the boss fight. It wasn't open during it, so it's I can get gold from it. It's just little stuff like this. This is a very exploratory nature of game. So if you love exploring in the sense of going from one room to another, this is going to be a really good game for you. Especially if you like just the mindless, I'm going to shoot zombies. Like, you see what I mean? Sometimes you need to be mindless and you need to shoot zombies. That's what this game is there for. It is there for your addiction of killing zombies. And it definitely gives you an excuse. Now, at the end of every level, giving you kind of... For those of you... That's English, stupid. Okay. For those of you who like score attack style games, while this isn't a traditional score attack style game, this does give you a good aspect of score attack. Your speedrunners are going to love it because you can focus on getting your gameplay time down. Shows your difficulty, monsters killed, souls collected, gold found. For you collectors out there, this really is a great way for you to see, hey, did I get 100% collection on this level? Or, oh no, I didn't. Hey, I was right there, the holy item. Man, I don't know how you get that thing. See, there were 4 secrets in this level. I found 0. And obviously, when you saw me, I was just kind of bouncing around. I wasn't really looking for them, but they weren't obvious. So that's good to know. It's good to know that secrets are not just these obvious things to find. They are secret. So this is that's my best example for those of you who are wondering, like, hey, this is old school. This is not like the modern FPS. Now, I'm going to talk about tarot cards. Unlocking tarot cards is an incredibly important part of this game because some of these levels are just not going to happen without you unlocking these tarot cards. So you have the black tarot card that I unlocked is Endurance. Endurance is really useful because you only take half damage. Now in the higher difficulties, from what I've done, you really need this. That is just, you have to. If you do not have those black tarot cards, you're going to get your butt kicked because the enemies are going to tear you apart. So what you do is you move it up here. Now when I used it, I lost 100 gold. As you saw right there, you saw my gold amount go down. But you see now when I took it off, now I can't do it because I only have 10 gold, I only have 60 gold. It only gives you back some, so if you take it out, you really got to think about it. But now you've seen how that's the important way of getting all these extra stuff. The tarot cards are very important. Some of them take half damage. Some make your time go down slower. Some make you do extra damage. As you can see, there's a lot of tarot cards. Each one of these is a tarot card. So they're a very important piece of the game. Higher difficulty really relies on them. Now there are 5 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are worlds. I said levels, they're worlds. You know what I'm talking about. So, or chapters. Now obviously I don't have the other chapters unlocked because I started a new game. These are the worlds within each chapter. So you can look at these and you can see how many worlds there are in each chapter. There's quite a few levels in each chapter. This game is not really a short game if you're playing it seriously for the aspect of just beating it. It shouldn't take you too long, but if you're trying to unlock everything, there's a lot to unlock. At the end of each chapter, there's a major boss. So if I was getting here, I would fight the major boss of the level, which is the big one. The really cool one I talked about. Sadly, it's really the last of the cool, crazy bosses. So boss fights, kind of hit or miss, depending on how you look at it. But thank you guys. It was really nice to have you listening to GhostPie Productions as I talk about Painkiller, the Black Edition. So it's been nice to have you guys in the retro region today. I look forward to seeing you guys again later. Thank you much, and bye-bye.